All right, guys, I've had some requests on doing an assembly video for the end-spooled end-fed half-wave. Quick rundown of everything we've got here. We have the 6 3D printed pieces, being both sides of the spool, the case, the handle, the tensioning handle, I guess, sure. And this is just the inner spool that locks into. We have the 2 pairs of bearings, which are the 6806-2RS and the 695-2RS, being the larger and smaller respectively. We have a M6 by 30 bolt, a M5 by 15 bolt, 2 washers for the M5 bolt, and an M5 by 6 millimeter heat insert. All right, to start off with, we'll go ahead and insert these bearings into each side of the spool. You just want to make sure it sits flush right here. Make sure that stays open so I can see what you're looking at here, right? So that sits flush on the far end. Do the same for this. And you may have to hit it in there a few times just to make sure. All right, so both of those are set. Now, all right, this might be a weird cut, but I just want to make sure I put this in the right order. Before you put these two together, what you do need to do is put this heat insert in. And now I'm going to use, I've got an ammo can here. You want the bottom of this heat insert to be flush and or at least not protruding at all from this side, because this is where the wire is going to sit and you don't want that catching. So quickly, all I'm going to do is we'll set this onto the ammo can so that it's flush. We'll grab my soldering iron with a tip and we'll just quickly press that in. All right, check that other side. It's all right if it has a little bit of plastic in there. What I tend to do is grab some compressed air and hold it upside down, so I'll show you that. All right, just to speed up the cooling process, just hold it upside down. This is a brand new can, of course it is. A few squirts, that cools that down perfect. And then we'll just feed this through, get out any of that plastic. Bam, see, pushes all that out. You can just clean that up, beautiful. All right, and then you're ready to put these 2 halves together. But I'll do that off camera. It's not really imperative. I think we can all understand how to glue these 2 halves together. Just put some epoxy or super glue on this outer trace, that way you're not getting it on the inside, and just set that together. Once that has dried, assembly of this is pretty simple. We'll start with this being your handle. You're going to stick both of the bearings on, followed by 2 washers. Now you'll notice that these are 2 separate sized washers. They are just the first ones I grabbed. It didn't really matter. And then you're going to screw that in. Get that nice and tight, but not too tight. Still want this to be very free, and just ensuring again that it's not protruding on that other side. Now once you're done with that, again, you'll want to do this before you glue, because this part, if you do it the other way around, you'll probably end up breaking it, depending on how well this slides on. See how it's kind of stopped there? I'm going to now have to take a hammer and just beat that in a little bit, so I'll be back in just a second. All right, as you see, that's set all the way in. We're still flush on that back side. It's still nice and free. At this point, we'll glue those together. Now, I'm not going to do that right now on camera, just because it's going to take forever. Then assembly is easy as throwing the spool in, throw your bolt through onto the back, slide in the inner tensioner piece, outer tensioner, and then the piece I did forget, you're going to need another M6 bolt that sits into here. Let me grab that real quick. All right, so now that I've got that seated in there, so this will actually work, just screw that in. You'll hear that as it starts to actuate into there. Now, one thing you may have to do is take a piece of sandpaper, just lay a piece of sandpaper down and just sand off these grooves because they're pretty aggressive, even though they're only maybe 2 layers thick. So that's it, really. Aside from that, you just have to spool it. You can just fill the spool with as much as you really want. I don't even measure anymore. You can see these marks on the inside. I fill it till it's just about to reach the top of this little opening, and that's more than enough. All right, guys, before I end the video, I did just want to give a quick tip. When you're spooling this, before you add this connector, ensure that you fed it correctly. I ended up doing this connection 3 times. Make sure it's through the spool and goes through the inside of the spool coming out, and then make your connection, ensuring that it's facing the direction, like, so when you're spooling it, it's not going the opposite direction and like backtracking inside the spool. Other than that, this has been KE2GYH Trevor, or Summit Radio. I hope you guys have a good day. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button. It really does help. If you want to see some of the other projects, I've got just hundreds of projects that are half finished. Eventually, I'll finish them and make a video of them. So if you want to see that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Until then, 73, have a good day, and see ya.